What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday morning, 5:35 a.m. It is time for some run, two, gun reps. You guys know these are the mental reps that we go through Tuesdays and Thursday mornings right here on Facebook Live. So today, you guys, as we're jumping into it, we're already on, I think, week 6 of the run, two, gun reps. And you know we've been talking about doing it differently this year. So last week on Tuesday, I believe, we talked a little bit about on a story about kind of that double-edged sword of people and all of us at times that struggle to get something started, and then some of us on the flip side have no problem starting but really struggle to finish. And I've been giving that a lot of thought. I really wanted to just keep peeling that back a little bit and getting to another layer on those thoughts, because we know as we go through 2021 and we are going to be doing it differently, that along your journey, there's obviously going to be setbacks, right? There's going to be peaks and valleys, and how we respond and react to all those peaks and valleys can help us carry on, because a lot of people thrive on the peak, and they're on the peak and everything's good, and then a lot of people, you start going down the slope and everything slows down. And some people are the opposite there too. Some people get really complacent when they get to the peak and they forget to continue to be in that moment and continue to keep pursuing, that they fall back down into the valley, because the valley, when they're in those lower portions, is where they feel like they're being punched in the gut, and they respond well to that and are able to just wake themselves up and get moving again. And so it's kind of that same concept as the people who struggle to start and the people who have no problem starting but really struggle to finish. And this verse keeps popping up over and over in the last several weeks, you guys, and actually months, because I utilized this verse on our on the back of the Seeker Fortitude, our pre-workout. And the verse is Romans 5:3, and it is it goes like this. Let me pull it up here for you. It is, and not only so, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces fortitude. So I really love that verse if you really start breaking it down, on how in that verse, suffering is brought up 2 different times. And going through when we know we have our big goals, ambitions, and dreams, and that journey is going to be long, right? That we're going to, and just in life too, you guys, that as we're going through our journey, that there's going to be times of suffering. There's going to be those valleys, right, that we talk about. For some of you, even some of that is up at the peak when you're not feeling that underdog mentality and you're wanting to go, like we just talked about. But there's going to be these sufferings. But in the Bible, it actually, in Romans 5:3 right there, it actually tells us, hey, that we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that those sufferings produce that fortitude, produce that endurance to continue on. And so as you're going this week along your journey, and some things feel really challenging for you, the beginning of the weeks are always a challenge for me, because I want to be productive. And sometimes I always don't know what to do. Being self-employed, there's nobody there making a to-do list for you. So I understand where if you and your goals sometimes feel that way, you get to that beginning portion and you're a little set back or a little discouraged on that feeling. I just don't, I know I need to take action, but I'm not sure what that action step is. So I understand that feeling. But just remember that during those times of slowness, during those times of suffering, that we still have the choices to make, and we have to make those sacrifices of how we feel right now and put how we want to be and the big goals that are the most important to us. We have to put those in the limelight and understand that current suffering that we're in right now, we need to embrace it, uplift it, and really get into that mess, understanding that that's going to create the fortitude and the endurance for us to continue on. So just a little bit of words of encouragement this morning, you guys, as we're going into this week. This is early part of the week. It's a cold week, so let's really dig in to some of these words, and it'll help us live out what we're trying to do when we get that alignment right in where our focus is at and what seeds we're actually casting and planting to produce that fruit later on, right, you guys? We've talked about that. And remember, even though we've talked about it in the past, we're still working on applying those things every single week, and then they become more and more habit. So always be thinking about the things we've talked about in the past. We're going to keep stacking them up on top of each other. They're going to work together, and they're going to produce that fortitude and that endurance that we need to get to the big goal, the big ambition, the big dreams that you're having. So you guys, that's Tuesday. We'll be back on Thursday, same time, at 5:35 a.m. So invite a friend over if they want to jump on. Remember, all these will be posted as well on the Live Beyond Average podcast. So if there's something in there that you wanted to pull out that you couldn't quite remember how it was said, just jump on. It'll be on later today. Or if there's something that you just wanted to share with a friend that you thought might connect, you'll be able to share a link over of that podcast later today after we get this screen recorded and up. So I hope to see you guys at 5:35 a.m. on Thursday, and crush the rest of your day. Remember, rejoice in those sufferings, because those are going to create the strong fortitude for us to continue on. And that's what really matters. Have a great rest of your day, you guys. We'll see you.